What's up, YouTube? This is Well Echo. My name is Parker, and we are here once again for the Raw Rundown. This week it is the January 15th of 2018 edition of Raw, and it was a very good Raw, in my opinion, I thought. So let's go through Raw, and we'll give the good bits an up, and we'll give the bad bits a down. We start off Raw in very good fashion, very good start to Raw. We had Braun Strowman come out and put an awesome promo. He told a story of destruction from the week before, and it was great. It was really fun. Unfortunately, Kurt Angle did come out, and he said that because of the destruction that he caused, that and the fact that he did it outside the ring, and we settled differences inside the ring, even though no one ever does that. That he had no choice but to fire Braun Strowman, which the crowd was not happy about. I was not happy about it. I was like, no, you can't do this. Um, but Braun was then led away by tiny security people, and so that was the opening, and it was great, and it's getting a huge up. It was fantastic. Um, then we go backstage, and Braun is being let out by the security. But he decides, you know what? If he's going to be fired, he's going to destroy everyone and everything, and it will be glorious, and everyone will get those hands. It was great. A little cheesy, but it was still great. And so he destroys all the security guards, and then he rushes off to find more victims. He goes into the catering area, and he attacks. Everyone runs away except for poor Kurt Hawkins, who does get caught and slammed through a table. And then what's great comedic timing, I thought, by Braun. There's a worker who was about to bring out some cake, and he's frozen in fear from Braun. And so Braun goes up to him and gets in his face, and then he looks at the cake and grabs a piece and takes a bite of it and then walks off. It was really great. The only thing that would have been better, in my opinion, is if after Braun grabbed a piece, the worker started to walk away, and then Braun said, "No, I'm not finished with it yet." That would have been the only thing that would have made that any better. And this whole thing gets a huge up. Unfortunately, we go to the first official match of the night, which is a rematch from the week before. It's Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews with, of course, Dana Brooke in their corner versus Cesaro and Sheamus. And this was not good at all. This was terrible. Titus O'Neil is not good in my opinion. I do apologize if you're a big, huge fan of Titus O'Neil. I'm not. I think he's pretty crap in the ring, personally. Apollo Crews is great. The Bar great. Titus O'Neil sucks, and he brought the match down. And then because Jason Jordan comes out, um, the Bar is distracted, and once again, they are rolled up for the L, and that's just to me is really stupid. Once again, it makes no sense to try and hurt the momentum that the Bar has done so far. They've been fantastic ever since they formed back in 2016, and they've been the top of the tag team division ever since. And Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews have had nothing. They've had no momentum. They've sucked so bad. Why would you do this, especially since the Bar is going into a title match in just a couple weeks? Makes no sense to go about this. I thought it was a huge mistake, and I was very unhappy about it, and so I'm giving it a down. Next, we go back to Braun Central and more just great stuff. Braun finds it's like some kind of truck that where they have all their equipment and stuff like that, where they control, I guess, the effects and stuff. I'm not very techie, so I'm not totally sure. But he goes in there, doesn't do a whole lot, just mostly yells at the people and then throws some papers in the floor. But the effect of his performance was good. And then he goes out, takes the like truck trailer where the equipment's at, and takes the the semi uh, truck part of it off of it. Then he gets out and he goes to tip it over like he did the ambulance last year, and he somehow, I don't know what effects they used or whatever, I don't care. They somehow had him flip that truck, and it was awesome. They did have a crap ton of cuts, like of different like angles, which I wouldn't have personally done, but to me that didn't take away too much from the spectacle. And obviously it's silly, but it's just really great. I think it's the kind of stuff that will just gets Braun more and more over. Stone Cold did a lot of silly stuff. Coming out with spraying beer everywhere on people was silly. It's silly, but it got him over and it got him popular. I think that's kind of what they're doing with Braun. And so this segment with the truck is getting a huge up. And then Braun decides to go back out into the arena and he decides to grab Michael Cole, and which was great. It's hilarious. And the Angle comes out with the security guards and tells Braun that Stephanie McMahon has decided to rehire Braun. Um, and so, and he was back in the title picture for the match, which isn't the best thing, I think, because like from a realistic standpoint, that shows your other roster that members that, hey, if I get fired, I can just destroy a bunch of stuff and then I'll get rehired. So not the smartest thing, maybe logic wise, but like I said, it's you got to kind of get away from the logic of it and just enjoy. And so, of course, Braun knew that he could get away with anything, so he decides to throw Michael Cole on off the stage onto the security guards, and obviously they caught him, and obviously there was no Michael Cole wasn't hurt or anything like that, and so some people may not have, I don't think, cared as much. I thought it was funny. I thought it was good and different, and especially to see an announcer kind of in some kind of peril. So I liked it a lot, and it's getting it up as well. Braun's just been killing it this week. Next, though, we go to a match between Asuka versus Nia Jax, and I'm not a fan. I didn't enjoy it. I'm sorry. Like I kind of get like usually my complaint with Oscar matches is that there's too much. She gets her opponent gets too much offense in. Um, that's not my gripe this week because her opponent was Nia Jax, and having the size advantage and strength advantage. I can understand Nia getting offense in. It was just clumsy, clunky. I just didn't enjoy it. And then to top it off, the match ends in a no contest, I guess, because Asuka attacked one of Nia's legs, and then somehow it got caught in between the stair and the ring, and so she was too injured to stand. So the referee called the match off, which technically gave Asuka the win because Nia was unable to continue, which you may consider the right choice because it keeps Asuka's winning streak, but Nia didn't technically lose. It kind of protects her, but it kind of she still got hurt, so it kind of doesn't help with the whole monster kind of thing. I don't know. I just didn't enjoy any of it, so I'm giving it a down. Next, we had the Revival go against a tag team of jobbers whose names I do not remember. I don't even think they were like mentioned but once. They were quickly defeated in swift motion, and it was very good. The Revival was great. I hope that they push them because we need more tag teams, and the Revival were great. And then afterwards, the Revival cut this really great promo talking about Raw 25 next week, and now there were a bunch of legends that were coming, and a bunch of like legendary tag teams that were going to be there. And the person interviewing was like, "Are you excited to see the older tag teams and that have kind of led to you guys being where you are?" And the Revival cut a promo on them talking about how they're better than all of them and all this stuff, and it was really well done, and I really enjoyed it, and so it's getting an up. I do worry though that they're going to pull an Ascension on them and have them having talked tough this week. Then next week they're going to get killed by a bunch of old dudes, which would be so disappointing. What they need to do is they need to actually have the Revival beat down the old dudes to actually get some actual heel heat because the legends are beloved, and the Revival being heels and beating them down, they're not going to be liked by because of it. And I think that would be the best thing to do for the Revival to make them look strong and also get them some heat. That's probably not what they're going to do, but I can hope. Next, we had a match between Roman Reigns versus Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel in a 2-on-1 handicap match. This was because Miz wanted to have his lackeys um, damage and soften up Roman for their title match in the next week. But obviously Roman Reigns won because he's won before. They've had the same match at least once. I think more than once, and I don't understand the reason to do it again. It just I think instead of having this match, they should have just had them come out and beat him up or try to beat him up. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was uh, too similar to the last time when they were starting their rivalry, and I just didn't enjoy it. And so it's getting down. Sorry. Next, we had a match between Sonya Deville versus Sasha Banks. The match was okay. It wasn't anything super spectacular, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad, and Sonya Deville did win with kind of a surprise. It was kind of unexpected. She hit some kind of kick, which knocked Sasha out, and she got the pin, and so that was a surprise. I don't really know what Sonya Deville's finisher is. I thought it was I don't remember. I think she did it when they debuted, but I don't remember. Um, and I think it was the right decision to kind of make Deville look strong because they need to try and keep Absolution looking strong. And so it's I'm going to give it an up, but it's kind of just barely an up. It was just okay. Next, we had Woken Matt Hardy versus Heath Slater, and this was great. Matt is obviously awesome, and Slater's funny, and his reactions to Matt were really good. Unfortunately, Heath lost, but it was necessary, and the crowd seemed pretty into it, and it wasn't. It was super short and not much to it, but enjoyable. And so it's getting it up. Next, we had the main event, which was Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor in a bit of a rematch from their SummerSlam Slam bout in 2016. They actually put Balor on the shelf. Of course, Jason Jordan was in Seth's corner, and the club was on Balor's side. The match was great. It was fantastic. It's getting it up. Other than the finish, I don't remember a whole lot of spots from it, but it was really, really good. And they're obviously really great. Um, but then we come to the finish. It sucks that like Jason Jordan got involved with it, but it's set up for it, so I don't care too much. But Jordan grabbed Balor as he was coming off the ropes, so Balor fell down, and Rollins comes in with an old friend, an old finisher. The curb stomp is back. It is unbanned by WWE apparently, and it was used on Balor, and it gave Rollins the win. And so while I gave the match an up, I'm also giving another up for the curb stomp being back because it's one of my favorite finishers. I think it looks so good, and I think it's so much better for Rollins than the pedigree ever was. And that knee thing was never good. In my opinion, and so I'm so happy that he's got the curb stomp back, and I think that's going to do a lot for his popularity because I think since he's turned face, um, his popularity's kind of dialed down a little bit. He's been kind of bland, so I'm hoping with the curb stomp. Back in his arsenal that he'll get more and more popular again because the crowd went wild when he used the curb stomp. It was great. I loved that. And that was Raw. Overall, it was great. Braun Strowman was fantastic. Um, he was the highlight of all. The Revival did really great with their promo. Hopefully, they don't get killed next week by old people. And then Woke and Matt, obviously hilarious like normal. And then Rollins, MVP for the curb stomp, returning. All of it fantastic, led to a really great Raw. And I'm looking forward to the 25th anniversary next week. And if you want to find out what I thought of that Raw, then make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our content, including the Raw rundowns, as well as SmackDown surveys and our um, pay-per-view videos as well that have to do with those. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button for me. I'd really, really appreciate it. And comment below what you thought of Raw this week. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. We'd love to hear it. But with that, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. Appreciate it. I'm Parker from Warlow Echo, and we will see you very, very soon. Peace.